Hi, I'm Joan Newcomb, and today's Mystic Minute is The Great Experiment. The Great Experiment usually refers to the United States, about this whole experience of creating a democracy, something that was really unheard of at the time, where most everything was governed by monarchies. And the American experiment has been creating this democracy, creating this government, and amending the Constitution and adjusting as we go along. And this isn't meant to be a history lecture because I'm definitely not a historian. What I reflected on is that the great experiment is life. This planet is a great experiment. I like to think of the creation of this planet and the creation of life on this planet as vehicles for consciousness. And you can just imagine the dinosaurs were one kind of vehicle. Created these dinosaurs, tried inhabiting them. Tiny little brain, big giant body, hard to maneuver. Done with that beta program, boom, on to the next. All the different bodies, all the different life forms, all the different creations on this planet are part of the great experiment of life. We happen to be, you happen to be, a great experiment. And the big thing to realize, the evolution that is going on right now, is that we are shifting from the perspective that we are bodies and personalities being experimented with, that there is some great creator that has created us in their own image to go about life. What the increase of consciousness in the planet, the increase of light, the greater amount of consciousness coming into form, we're all starting to wake up to that we're not just part of a collective, but at our core essence, we are the creator. And within this narrow focus of physical form, we are the creator of this reality. Our reality. Laughing at the light. I'll just keep it going. So the great experiment is you and your life and your experience of life. And when you start to become aware of yourself as consciousness, experiencing life in physical form in the world around you, things stop being mechanized, things stop being scripted, things stop being predictable. Not that life ever really was predictable, but we have this imagination that it is. We have this imagination that we go into scenarios and they go along a certain way. It's supposed to be that way. Greater consciousness comes into form and things become random. Possibilities become infinite. Limitations break down. As consciousness, you are unlimited. Physical form has some definition. Physical form also experiences limitations, living life in a linear fashion from past to future. But you as consciousness transcend all of that and can bring in unexpected results, different circumstances, abrupt right changes, things that we have in the past described as miraculous. We've also attributed the miracle to something outside of ourselves. The miracle comes from ourselves as essence. Don't want to get too confused about the personality aspect. The personality aspect is going to distort this and say, I am the creator of my reality. I am the master of all I survey. I can control, manipulate everything outside of myself. That is the body personality. You can call it ego, but body personality's perception of it. When you shift to your greater viewpoint as consciousness, it becomes so much bigger than all of that, a vaster viewpoint, a greater perspective. Now, at the highest level of that, you're dispassionate, you've lost the desire or that dramatic impulse. From the highest level, it's a little bit like viewing life from the International Space Station looking down. Oh, it's beautiful, blue ball. At a little closer perspective as consciousness, you can see the big picture of everything that is going on and have just tremendous affinity for the creation that you are manifesting. And you can actually bring that aspect of yourself more into your form now than ever before. And it really shifts and changes your way of navigating life. When you start to do this, it brings a sense of peace and joy that makes no sense necessarily to the story in your life or the things that are unfolding around you, but there's a tremendous sense of well-being. So at this time when things may seem the darkest, things may seem the most chaotic and confused, you can have within you this sense of peace and light. And it starts with a simple shift of perspective. Begin to identify yourself as consciousness in form instead of a personality with an awareness, with a consciousness. Identify as consciousness in form, and it'll completely change your reality. And if you like these videos, you can subscribe to them on YouTube. You can also sign up below to get them in your inbox. If you want to know more, my website is joan-newcomb.com. I put out a weekly radio show and podcast. I write a weekly blog post and newsletter. I do meetups around the Puget Sound in Seattle, Bellevue, Tacoma, University Place. I do monthly webinars. And if you want to know more about how to navigate your life as consciousness, how to shift that perspective, and have a completely different way of experiencing life, living life, creating your life, manifesting in your life, go to joan-newcomb.com and look at my coaching programs. So go to joan-newcomb.com, and I'll see you in another couple days with another Mystic Minute.